Lost in the dark.
Welcome back, Crip Crow, and welcome back to Lost in the Dark podcast. We got a great one in store for you tonight. Tonight, we welcome back Ledwing from A Fitting Revenge, and for the first time ever, Brian from A Fitting Revenge will be joining us on the show to talk all things their brand new album, Omnipresence, which is out tomorrow, Friday, July 1st, 2022. Omnipresence is dropped on the fucking world, and it is a fucking masterpiece. It is an absolute monster. We had a great time on the show. You're all about to see. We had an absolute fucking blast. And it's funny because at the time of recording, I think at some point in the show, I said like one of my favorite tracks or whatever was The King Machine. That has already changed with how many more times I've listened to the album. I can't wait for you all to hear it. Again, it comes out midnight tonight, July 1st, 2020. Omnipresence is dropped on the world. But before we get into the interview, I do have a quick shout out. Our family over there in the Convalescents who just unleashed their brand new single, Undead Swarm, onto the world. Unbelievable. Absolutely fucking unbelievable. They also announced the Undead Swarm tour. Everybody check it out. It kicks off August 12th in Indianapolis. In Indianapolis. And then August 13th, they come to Michigan Metal Fest up here in Battle Creek, Michigan. And then they have they're playing a Rust Fest in Detroit on the 26th. It's pretty much they go through Illinois, looks like Kansas, Tennessee, Ohio, Toledo, New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky. So kind of like an East Coast tour, mostly it looks like, but the Convalescence Undead Swarm tour kicks off in August. Everybody be sure to check that out. And everybody be sure to check out all things Convalescence, especially the brand new single titled Undead Swarm, first single off the upcoming album, hopefully out before the end of the year. We don't know the title of it yet. Very, very excited for that though. Possibly one of the most anticipated of the year for me personally. But that's it for the shout outs at the top. There's going to be some mid rolls for the first time, but without further ado, let's dive into it. Here they are, Brian and Ledwing of A Fitting Revenge, New York's own A Fitting Revenge. Let's get into it. Can't wait for you guys to hear this album, Omnipresence, again, out tonight at midnight. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are here with A Fitting Revenge. Nice to see you guys again.
What's going on?
Happy.
Cool, man.
It has been, like you said earlier, it has been a long time. God, that was over a year ago now, wasn't it, last time you were here?
Yeah, I want to say it was like maybe September of 20.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. Jesus. Wow. But you guys have definitely been busy. Has there been a lineup change in the band since last we talked?
Yeah, there has. So in October of last year, Grant and Aaron, who I think you did speak to, drummer and bass player, they said that they were not going to continue with the band. It's all cool. You know, I still talk to them. I see Aaron every so often. We'll just go out for food or drinks. But, you know, being in a band requires a lot of time. And at some point, you know, sometimes people just get tired of it, which is, it's fine. I get it. So we're still cool. And then from that point, Brian joined the band. That has been great. Brian's a fantastic guitar player, and we have Lucy as a bass player. Fortunately, she's not with us right now. She's on tour somewhere on the West Coast with a band called Drift.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah. And then as far as drums, we currently have Aaron filling in for some shows, and we have a couple irons in the fire as far as a permanent replacement.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Very, very good to hear. So you have that you did send me a new. So yeah, actually, real quick, Brian, before we jump onto that,
sure.
How did you end up getting involved with A Fitting Revenge?
So it's actually kind of a funny story. So I had left my previous band in October. There was just a lot of things going on with that band, and I just didn't want to continue with it. And I actually was texting my friend Dan Sugarman from Ice Nine Kills.
Oh, wow.
And I was kind of like venting to him about, I just feel like, being in my mid 30s, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to, get another chance. And he's like, dude, he's like, guys like you and I, he's like, the reason why we succeed is we don't give up. And I was like, you're right. So I put out some feelers for different bands that were looking for members, and Led got back to me, I don't know, like within 20 minutes or something like that. And we just started casually talking about, guitars, music. And he and I bonded over, we're both big car guys, exotic and supercars and stuff, and video games. And, he sent me some, he sent me some music, and, I learned the songs. We were pretty much finishing up the album at that point. Mm-hmm. So I kind of came in on the very, very, very tail end of that, but we've already started working on some new stuff, which is pretty cool as well. Cause people are going to get Omnipresence in about 3 weeks. And then we're hoping that we have a follow-up EP in the fall.
Oh, wow.
Or even like, winter around that time tentatively. But yeah, that's kind of how I got involved with the band. Dan pretty much was like, just keep going. And I mean, he, his success story is going from, Fallen Figures to His Blood Runs Black to now Ice Nine Kills. And, he's crushing it. So, it was nice to have a friend like that who's, it's such a high tier and such a low key guy and encouraging. So,
yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome, dude. Holy shit. So how long have you been playing guitar at all?
Going on 29 years.
Holy
28,
shit.
29. Yeah, 28, 29 years, something like that. My parents started me off at violin when I was real little, and then I had my first recital, and the teacher like pulled my dad aside, and they were like, yeah, he's too old to be a prodigy, and this and that. My dad's like, what? Like, whatever. So he got me a guitar, and they put me in lessons, and I took lessons for years and years, and studied at Berkeley, and toured a bunch of different bands. And then now I'm playing this stuff, which is great because growing up, I've played so many different genres and all that, and I've always been drawn to like very technical guitar playing, stuff that's not just bar chords and power chords and drop chords. It's this I'm sure you've heard the album, like it's got a little bit of everything. It's got melodic stuff, it's got super thrashy stuff, and it's awesome. So I'm super stoked to be playing with the guys and Lucy, and I'm real excited to be able to tour behind this album.
Have you been able to play a live show yet with A Fitting Revenge?
July 16th is going to be our first one. We're going to be playing at Flower Fest in Rochester at the Montage.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Flower City Metal Fest, and it hasn't been announced yet, but actually no, it has been announced. It has been.
Yeah.
It just hasn't.
I think last week or something like that, but yeah.
So we may or may not be playing it. But
and you said that's July 16th?
Yep, July 16th.
So that's perfect. It's just a couple weeks after the album comes out, right?
Yeah, it'll be the first show we're gonna be playing. All the whole set list is just songs off the new album. So anyone that comes out is gonna hear all the new songs played. It's gonna be probably, I don't know, half-hour set for 25-minute set. So you're gonna get 4, 5, 6 songs from us, probably 5 or 6 songs. So yeah, we got some surprises in store with the stage production too.
Nice. Hell yeah. I love a good stage set. What kind of I see behind you got some of your guitars. Is one of those a Gary Holt?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I actually those are my ESPs. I played those with one of my other bands. I have, let me see if I can grab this real quick. I'm a big Jackson guy now though.
Hell yeah.
So I've been playing primarily Jacksons, but yeah, I ran the I ran the Gary Holt for a while with one of my old bands. I'm a huge Gary fan. You know, everything he's done with Exodus, what he's done with Slayer. You know, he's fantastic. So yeah, I love those things. They're great.
That's sick. Yeah, no, I'm actually the exact same. I like Jacksons and ESPs and LTDs and stuff. Those are probably my favorite ones. Were you ever a big fan of Alexi Laiho?
It's funny you say that. So Jeff Loomis and Alexi are my top 2 guitar players.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. It was actually funny because Led and I were talking last week, or not even last week. I was texting him, I think the other night. I was like, I low key want to get an Alexi signature just because Alexi was the man, dude.
Dude, like fucking right.
Him and Loomis are just god tier. Yeah, dude, he's the man.
That's awesome.
I think In Your Face is probably like one of my favorite ones, or Blood Drunk. Those albums were just, I know everyone goes back to the earlier ones, but those 2 albums, you know, Are You Dead Yet or Blood Drunk, those are the 2 albums that I just like.
Specifically because of Alexi. This is like the ESP was some shit like this. And
wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, he originally had a Jackson signature.
Yeah,
years
that's
ago.
True. Yeah,
and then something happened with the endorsement.
They got
I think stolen.
Yeah, they got
stolen. and I think he reached out to Jackson, and Jackson they couldn't get him the guitars fast enough.
Right. Yeah.
And so ESP was like, "Hey, we got you," and they, you know, he did the specs, and dude, he's the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that I find other Alexi guys out there.
Oh yeah.
Him and Loomis, dude. They're just.
Did you ever get to see him live?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Saw him twice. Yep.
Okay.
They came through town. Last time was 2018. I saw him
on the Hex. The Hex tour. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think I saw him. I think there was like a 500 person venue. It was awesome. It was a tiny venue. Yeah. I saw them, I think, on the Blood Drunk tour in like 2009.
Yep.
And then I saw him again that one. I think I saw him once at Mayhem Fest.
Yeah, they were at a few Mayhem Fests. Yeah.
Yeah. And man, it was just unreal to see him live.
Oh yeah, dude. One time I saw him. They were playing in Detroit, opening up for Lamb of God, and the night before.
God damn.
Yeah, and the night before they played, he fell. Cause something was weird with the bus. It took a weird turn or something, and he fell out of his bunk and broke his collarbone.
I remember that.
Yeah, and fucking the next night
dude.
He had to play Detroit, and he still played it, and he even fucking still did the flippy around the
guitar
body
spin.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
And and the next day they had to drop off the tour because he fucked it up worse.
Yeah, I remember. Was it that tour that they went bowling? He broke it numerous times. Like there was a time where they went bowling, and he got a strike, and they were hammered because it's Bodum.
Right.
And he did a flip, and he didn't go all the way over, and he landed right on his shoulder and shattered his collarbone. I don't know if it was that tour or another one, but that man was constantly just. I mean, his nickname was the Wild Child for a reason. I don't know if you know. I'm sure you probably know.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely, fuck yeah, dude. It's actually pretty rare that I find somebody else who's a big Bodum fan.
Oh, dude,
so that's awesome.
Him and Loomis, top 2.
Hell yeah. No, I love Jeff Loomis. Jeff Loomis is amazing. I think I just heard him on another podcast. Actually, I can't remember. It might have been like the Josta Show or something.
His Riff Hard podcast episode is fantastic.
Oh hell yeah, nice,
very good.
So yeah, you come in October, and you said the album had pretty much already been written and it was wrapping up recording at that point.
Yep.
All right. So so whatever you are, the next thing coming will be the first time you are a main writer on it. Okay, cool.
Correct. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Now, of course, you got so the new album's coming out July 1st. And it's called what is it? Omnipresence?
Yep.
Yeah. Omnipresence. And I have quite a few questions about this actually.
Okay. But before you ask a question, did you listen to it?
Yes.
You did. Okay. All right.
Oh, I've heard it. couple times. It is first of all, it's definitely no question a full length album's 12 tracks. And it all comes down. I like how, the last 3 tracks are part 1, 2, and 3, which I thought was awesome. But there definitely seems to be, is this a concept album? Is there like a story here?
Yeah, sort of. So a typical concept album, we could think of more like a short story, beginning, middle, and end.
Mm-hmm.
The way I explain this to people is, have you ever seen the Animatrix?
I think so.
So that was 9 short stories set within the Matrix universe that were kind of like linked to each other, sort of.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's more like that. So it's really, it's like, so it's like 12 tracks of stuff in a specific universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all interconnected like a to B to C storyline.
Okay. Fair enough. Where did the title come from?
Oh boy, that was a tough one. That was a really tough one. We just wanted a way to describe time.
Okay.
And, after all this back and forth, we just thought of, okay, what's one word we could use to describe time? And omnipresent is something that came up. Omnipresence also kind of hints at something godlike, an omnipresence being around you at all times, being part of you, not, it's enveloping. So, originally I actually wanted to follow the Tempus Fugit model and name it, something in Latin. Tempus edax, I think, was my like number one choice, which is time consumes, I think.
That's cool.
Sorry, I do like the Omnipresence title.
Hell yeah. Awesome artwork too. Who did the artwork?
So the artwork was actually done by a guy named Matt D'Angelo. He is a graphic designer here in town, and he is awesome. He's actually a pretty good drummer as well. Not metal, it's like more like gospel and funk. That's the thing. But he got what we were going for, and when we got he sent us some draft ideas, and man, the intensity on those, like this man knows how to lay things out.
Hell yeah. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, did he do the last cover of the last time? No. Okay. Because I was gonna say they kind of like, they don't look similar, but like it feels like a continuation. Yeah,
that's what we wanted, because Tempus Fugit is about time, just like Omnipresence is. But Tempus Fugit is much more loosely done.
Okay.
It just kind of plays with the idea of time here and there and some sci-fi stuff. Time is like one of the elements, where Omnipresence, this is about time.
Okay.
The Tempus Fugit cover was done by a tattoo artist named Katie Connors.
Nice.
And he is also fantastic.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
And, actually, for the viewers, let me see if you guys can see this. Oh shit, maybe not. There's the original Tempus Fugit.
Oh.
Art. So it's there. I'll post a picture of it at some point.
Oh yeah. That's fucking awesome, man. Yeah, I really like the new one too, though. It looks really great. Okay, so like I noticed every track on the album is like the something. I was wondering, why did you go that way? Because that's where it seems like there's a story. Right.
Yeah. I can see that, because that sounds like episodes in a Netflix show. Like that.
Actually, yeah.
Do that. I got to be honest with you. I think that one was kind of just, it sounds cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was.
It's funny because I had asked him as well, like a few months back. I was like, hey, was it purposely everything though? He's like, yeah, it's a collection of short stories. And I was like,
yeah, I mean, it sounded cool. We're like, well,
because some of them you listen to like The Wheel, and you couldn't just do like Wheel. people be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, what a weird title, Wheel, but the wheel, like, and then you listen to the lyrics and like, you understand the story that he's portraying and you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, having the in front of everything definitely makes it sound more authoritative, if that makes sense. Like it's
Yeah.
the fucking wheel.
Right.
The
Right.
wheel.
Oh, yeah.
It works.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it works really well. Now, who did I noticed on some tracks there were like keyboards and stuff. Who did those?
Yeah, so there is one song where our old drummer Aaron actually plays the keyboard on it. And if you go to our Instagram, it's Instagram.com/afittingrevenge. There is a video of him recording that. He's a fantastic piano player. I mean, he does like Mozart, all that shit. It's really cool. But the majority of the album is done by either myself or Grant, who had a bunch of synth, kind of electronic music background. So yeah, unfortunately, like toward the end of recording, we go, oh shit, Aaron, you're really good at piano. Why don't you just, and we had like one song left. So it's kind of funny how that worked out.
Fair enough. What about I can't remember if I asked you last time or not, but there are so many different, like Brian was saying earlier, there's so many, it's sonically so big and like so many different obviously influences and sounds coming in all over the place. Were there any particular for both of you, were there anything in particular well, actually, Brian, for whatever the next release is going to be, I would ask the same question. Any specific influences that you drew from in the writing process for this one?
I mean, we're kind of, for this next one, continuing where we left off with this one.
Okay.
Like Led has already, emailed me like one of the tracks he's working on, and I mean, you could literally have thrown this on as like a 14th track, but it's taking everything on Omnipresence and like tenfolding it.
Okay.
I guess for me, and then obviously Led can tell you kind of how he did it with Omnipresence. My last band was extremely like 8 strings and like has a lot of electronics. So like, I don't want to deal with 8 strings anymore. So it's nice because, we're just in drop C tuning, but all of those electronic plugins that I have from, working with my previous band and, experimenting with just different sounds and noises. I think this next one, it's going to be cool because with his influences and mine, I guess to sum it up, I'm much more like Alexi and Jeff, but I also, I'm much more like in like kind of like Southern California groove style, like Devil Driver and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be cool to, I'm pretty stoked for you guys to not just have Omnipresence come out and everyone hear that, but have the next stuff come out. Cause again, it's taking everything on Omnipresence and just maximizing what we did. And it's going to be even better. I think it's going to be a bigger production. Sonically, it's going to sound even bigger. I think it's just, we've been talking about, are the Axe effects and the Kempers and stuff, and like the different profiles for the amps that we've been using and what we will be using. Like live, I use a Rev Mark II, and it just sounds huge. And he's got the Axe effects, and I'm gonna be bringing out my Axe effects 3 as long as I can get a hold of my old bass player and grab it from him. And so like it's gonna sound huge, but he can kind of tell you about Omnipresence.
Yeah, so with Omnipresence and really with A Fitting Revenge in general, when it comes to the music and the bands and the genres that we pull from, we try to really be as fearless as we possibly can. And that's it. We just, I mean, that's just taking risks. And there's so many things that we throw out. I will say there are 2 songs that didn't make it on the Omnipresence, and I really was bummed out. One actually was almost done, and I'm sure it'll come out as a B track at some point. But you know, there on this album, you'll hear thrash, you'll hear some power metal, you'll hear some deathcore on the Freeze. In my opinion, that's what I was going for. For the soundscape that we were going for, I drew a lot from Death Clock and also Devin Townsend project. That is making it as thick and as layered as humanly possible. I would love to be able to draw that inspiration from Devin Townsend project. I mean, those recordings are so thick. They're so thick. There was a little bit of black metal on one of the songs that we cut. The other song that we cut was a straight up 80s thrasher, and we just couldn't get it to work. Brian, you have not heard this one, but I will send it to you. You heard the other one.
Yeah.
So going forward, we're not that band to be stuck in a box. So prepare for the unexpected.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, even like songs like The Wheel, it's extremely like syncopated, you know, like the rest of the album. I think to me, that one stands out the most out of the whole album. I think honestly, that one's probably the heaviest one on the album. Even though I think aside from The Wheel, the King Machine's my favorite, just because the King Machine's just got a lot of energy and just it's a good time, man. It's a good time, you know. But The Wheel has got a lot of syncopation with the, you know, the drums and the guitar, and
it feels a little new metal to me.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I was playing it today, and it was very much like a Sepultura, almost like an early like mid 90s Sepultura. You know, and I'm super stoked for people to hear that one. You know, that's a killer song.
So where did you guys record it?
So all the tracking was done here.
Okay.
So let's see, what did we not do here? Yeah, I think everything was done here. It was just mixed elsewhere. So Jack Daniels from More of Ages mixed it, and then John Douglas, who's done like Whitechapel and that sort of thing, he did master it. But yeah, that was really helpful because in order to get to the sound that we have currently, there's so much iteration that has to happen and so much layering and so much fine tuning that if we had done that in a studio, I mean, I don't know, I'd just be living in a box.
Right.
The cool thing about this album too is like Led and the guys literally self-produced it. So like, just, I mean, you've heard the album a few times now. Imagine, you know, down the road with like the next LP, we've been talking about, you know, different producers, like how massive it'll sound with an actual like producer, you know, behind it. It's the future is just gonna be nutty for these albums.
I want to piggyback on the producer thing. So one of the challenges with Omnipresence was that on Tempest Fugit, we basically had our engineer kind of producing.
Okay.
We didn't have that with this. So I think one of the reasons why Omnipresence took so long was that we didn't have someone there to kind of question you know, like there's somebody there where if you don't have someone there, it's easier to get lost in the weeds.
Right. Yeah.
Matter.
Yeah.
And I think like we can kind of be, I don't know if notorious for that is the, but it's something we do. So maybe a producer's in order. Who knows?
Yeah, but at the same time though, and this is just somebody who like came in at the end of the, you know, the production and who's playing the songs now, like the songs again, and this is coming from like just remove myself from the band, like the songs sound so good. You know, I've you know, shared it with I've shown it to a few people, and like one of them was like, dude, this is like metal album of the year for me. Like he's like, this is exactly what I've been wanting in a metal album. So like hearing that from like people, you know, like it's again, I'm super excited for people to hear this album because, you know, I came at the tail end of it. And so like, if this was all like Led and the guys, like this is just all that magic that they captured is like lightning in a bottle, you know, and he's a great guitar player, and it shows, like you can hear it all over the album, and it's sick because like I can just come in, pick up everything that he wrote, you know, and just build off of that. It's a killer album, you know. And again, you know, the producer thing, like we'll find a producer, but we're at the moment we're kind of like assembling a team. You know, we want to get like the right team. Like we're working with Tag Publicity, who have been incredible. Tom and Tracy have been amazing. And, you know, we want to get the right, you know, management, the right label, you know, booking agency. We want to get the right team behind this, because the more people that, you know, we can get this album into their hands and hear, you know, the more people are going to be able to hear, you know, the amount of work that Led and the guys did.
Absolutely. I think it's gonna be really good for you guys when I think it's gonna be huge. Any plans for any music videos?
Yep. Yeah. We've been discussing those. We can't say which ones.
Fair enough.
But yeah, there will be probably 1 or 2 music videos off of this album in the near future.
Nice. Hell yeah. Are they like full on music videos kind of a thing, not just like a lyric video sort of a thing?
Yep. Yeah, there'll be full production music videos.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Well, I definitely look forward to checking those out. And yeah. What about so by October, that's when it's pretty much almost completing production, and you have a whole massive lineup change. I guess, Led, were you the main writer, or who helped you write the whole thing initially?
So Omnipresence, it was probably like 50%. It was probably like 40% or 50% me, and then another 40% Grant, who did an excellent job, by the way. He's a wonderful writer. And then 10% Aaron. Aaron mostly was involved in like show booking and working with our label at the time. And he was instrumental in putting together The Wheel. The Wheel's his baby.
Okay.
But yeah, it was me and Grant mostly, which was kind of nice, because I think Tempest Fugit was 95% me, and it's just, it's a lot, man. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I believe that. Ho, a mid-roll read. Whoa, we've never done this before, but this one, of course, as always, we got to give a quick shout out to my brothers over there in Wisconsin from the Dipping Milk in Cookies podcast. Join your host, Mike, the Master Milker Segovia, and Garrett, the Cookie Commander Smith, as these two best friends try to figure out this thing we call life using friends, guests, and microphones. It is absolutely one of my favorite podcasts going. They are having Master Milker isn't on it as much as of late. They got some things going on, but they are still releasing episodes, and every single one is fantastic. So be sure, my friends, to check out all things Dipping Milk in Cookies podcast. They do great segments, especially the Master Milker's Mysterious Mysteries. That's kind of their paranormal section. They do questions of the week, where if you follow them on social media, boom, they ask questions on there, and if you answer them, they give you a shout out. It's fucking amazing. And I absolutely love these guys to death. And of course, Garrett, the Cookie Commander Smith, is also the guitarist from the great Milwaukee band Reflection of Flesh. Absolutely amazing band that are doing huge things right now. So everybody keep an eye out for all things Reflection of Flesh and Dipping Milk in Cookies podcast. Now, back to my brothers in a fitting revenge. Completely. And it definitely, kind of to your point with like how just massive the sound is, Tempest, you go from Tempest to Omni, and you hear it's like Tempest already sounds big. This one though, it's just like a step up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really what we were going for.
Yeah.
Tempest didn't quite turn out how we wanted, but I think that was partially because of, honestly, our skill level at the time with managing that project and knowing where things are and planning for it. And, it's like, like if you're directing a movie, your fourth one will probably look better than your first one.
Right.
It's one of those situations. And we were super ambitious with it. And I'm glad we did that. But there were certain skills that we didn't quite have yet that at Omnipresence we got to, and we knew what we needed to do. And that's where you see that difference. We knew what questions to ask, and we knew what to look for. Anyways, so fuck, I lost the question. What was the question?
So you knew what questions to ask and what to look for in terms of like shaping the sound.
Right. So yeah, in order to grow the sound. So when it came time to start working on Omnipresence, okay, we knew number one, we need to self-track this.
Okay.
Number two, we need to work with an engineer who is more accustomed to metal. Number three, we need to work with a mastering engineer who is more accustomed to metal. We need to plan things out differently. We need to, like our whole workflow changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it shows in Omnipresence that we took the lessons from Tempest to heart.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right about that. It definitely, it just feels like in every way, like Tempest is just like the little brother now, I guess. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah. Tempest, you're right. Tempest did sound big, and this sounds bigger. And I think anything in the future can sound galactic.
Yeah.
Which is a whole different level of bigness. And Brian and I are working on some stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy to me to think like how big this album sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like it sounds huge. And like I guess it blows my mind, like the fact that like Led and the guys have been sitting on this material, ready to have this thing just be launched into the universe. And it's like, I mean, this is an album you would hear off of like Nuclear Blast or Metal Blade or,
Easily.
Napalm, like, like with this like production level. And he did it, right in the studio at his house. And it's nutty. Like it just shows how much hard work that they put into this. And, like the vision that he and Aaron and Grant and the three of them just like went for. And it paid off. It sounds awesome. It sounds huge.
Hell yeah. And absolutely.
I mentioned something too about the learning process. The span from our second EP in 2014 to Tempest Fugit was 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, no, 2013, 20, yeah, it was 3 years. The span from Tempest to Omnipresence was a very painful 5 years. And part of the things that we learned off of recording this album will be very helpful in making sure that future music doesn't take as long. So for anybody listening to this, sorry about that, but that's again, it's going to be significantly quicker. We also, of course, there was something going on in the world that made a bunch of stuff more difficult, and I had to record all guitar parts, but excuses.
I
Go ahead.
I personally want to get an album out every 2 to 3 years and then tour behind it in between. Like that to me, like, I mean, I know that's kind of like the standard model nowadays, but like without sacrificing, how the creative process goes. Cause again, you hear Omnipresence and like, I mean, it's just, again, I had nothing to do with this album. I came in and it's to me, it's a masterpiece. So like I'm without sacrificing any creativity, like, that's what I would like to do every 2-3 years, get a new album out, And then that way we can continuously write and, you know, build off the last album and make it bigger and better every time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it seems like a pretty solid cycle. 2 to 3 years kind of a thing.
Yeah.
How long has the album been written for? Like when did you actually start laying out the ideas? Because like you said, it's been a 5-year gap. So
yeah, so the idea process for every album starts like an album and a half ago. So there's seriously like there's stuff for whatever's coming out next that is probably like around Tempest Fugit era.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's just that, you take the best ideas, you work with those, and then the ideas that aren't quite working, those get moved to the bench, and then they get sent to training camp. They get worked on, and then they end up on. So I do not throw out anything. I like almost no ideas ever get thrown out. They just go into the, they go into the A leagues until they develop.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I have stuff. I have stuff that I wrote, 2008, 2009 that I released in like 2016, 2017. And I still have riffs that have been cycling through, for, AFR that, Led and I, he was over, was it last week or the week before you were over?
It was.
Yeah. And, I was showing him some ideas and riffs that I wrote a few years back that we're probably going to recycle, just chop up the riffs and see if there's any gold in there and make something out of it.
Hell yeah. What did you actually get to record anything on for the new album, Brian?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, but everything you hear is Led.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, but when I came in, he was like, "Hey, so I wrote, obviously this is supposed to be for 2 guitars." So he goes,
"Yeah,
these are your parts. These are your solos. For the solos, I keep to about 80% of what they are, or give or take. Like I'll do probably like the first 2 bars of what he did, and then I'll do like the next 4, or like, so I guess half and half. So like the next 4 is, something that I do. And then the last 4 is what, the outro is what he did, just to keep it, as close to the album as possible, but still have, again, and it's funny because we did another interview a few days ago and they were asking, like kind of like the difference between our playing and like influences, and like you'll clearly, especially this next release, you'll clearly hear like a difference between him and I. Like he loves sweeps and shredding and all that, whereas I, even though I love shredding and everything, I guess have been more in the last few years, I've gotten more on the like melodic side of things.
Okay.
So you'll hear that in the next release. But so like with this album, like with the wheel, the first solo he does, the second one's much more melodic. That's the one that I take.
Okay.
So the more melodic ones are the ones that I will be playing live, and then the more, sweepy, shreddy stuff he'll be doing. Obviously with like certain songs like the Inquisition, I do those sweeps in the beginning, and stuff like that. But that's because, and same like the Freeze, like the moving melody for the intro and the chorus and all that, I'll be doing that. But solo wise, he wrote everything, he played every single note on the album. I'll be doing, when people come out and see us, I'll be doing the more melodic stuff live. He'll be doing more, we're doing more of the shreddy stuff.
Nice. That's awesome. When it comes to live, yeah. So do you have you don't have a permanent drummer yet, correct?
Correct.
Not yet. We're auditioning people. Aaron's going to be filling in until we find that,
okay,
piece of the puzzle.
Okay, nice. So at least you got to fill it, because,
yep.
Even as going on stage as a 4-piece with, your guys' sound, like it still sounds so big that like it feels like there should be more people on the stage. It sounds big enough to be like Slipknot, there could be a 9.
Oh man. Yeah.
So it's definitely gonna blow some people's minds, but that's gonna be great.
It's cool because with the live stuff, like we use Axe Effects and Kempers.
Mhm.
So everything that you're going to hear on the album, you're going to hear because we just go right straight to front of house because we just
Okay.
use in-ears. So
Oh,
everything that
nice.
everyone hears is going to be literally like he has the tone in his axe effects
Mhm.
from the album. So like what
beautiful.
you hear in the album is what you're going to hear live.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm huge on like when I go to see a band live, I want to see the music brought to life.
Mhm.
And there's been a couple of times where I've seen bands where I hear them playing the music, but it sounds almost like a cover band, like a really good cover band.
Okay.
That's not us. Like you show up to see us live, you're getting the album brought to life.
Beautiful. Hell yeah.
Oh, by the way, I thought Aaron, does Aaron co-host occasionally still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I was wondering if he was going to be here. I could try to suck him into the AFR fold. He's a really good drummer, man.
Yeah, he is great. They actually just played their last show with Bogwraith a couple weekends ago. And oh man, they did such a good job. They did such a good job. They do this cover of Surfacing from Slipknot, which is just insane. Aaron just loses his mind.
My old band, we would do every single show. We would do a cover of "Walk with Me in Hell," and
Sick.
we did a tour with Death Angel like in 2016.
What?
And their techs would every night request it. We did that song because they loved it so much. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Holy shit. Wow, that's really cool actually. Have you guys ever thought about with the Fitting Revenge, have you thought about doing any covers at all?
We've talked about it, I think, a little bit, but not like too in detail. I
Mhm.
think we're more focused at the moment, and Led, you can touch up on it and, correct me if I'm wrong. We're just so focused on the release of Omnipresence right now.
Yeah.
And getting this original stuff out and then following up with an EP.
Right.
Probably not anytime soon.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like someday it would be nice. I'm always thinking of these like weird kind of offbeat songs to do. Like, man, we should really do "Enjoy the Silence" by Depeche Mode or something. But it's hard to get everybody to agree, right?
Right.
And you spend a lot of time on these things, and then you could be spending the time on finishing your album, doing your own,
Right.
or practicing.
Right.
So someday.
Fair enough. Where does the thematic element of like time come in for you? Because the both albums seem to be heavily that's a heavy theme on both of them.
Yeah, so oh boy, I might give like TMI. So how can I boil this down? So I come from a very religious family.
Okay.
And a religious culture.
Mhm.
I am not religious at all. I'm an atheist. I just don't. It's kind of silly to me, but I don't like hate people that are into that. It's cool. It's not me.
Right.
But I think of time as kind of the element that is just so far outside understanding, and it touches me, it touches my family, whatever religion you are. So I think that's what it was. Maybe it's me thinking about something bigger than myself, but it's not I hate God or I love God or I hate this or I love that, or it's I don't know. It's outside of myself. It's not Buddha, it's not Jesus, but it's something bigger than me. So I don't know. I fixate on it for some reason. So that's
Fixation on the darkness.
yeah, maybe. And this album, I want to put out there for people who are going to listen to it. It's time, but it is very, very sci-fi.
Yeah.
Tempest Fugit also very sci-fi.
Yeah.
This is a very, very sci-fi band. It just, I don't know, it be what it be. But if you listen to the references, there's tons of sci-fi shit going on.
I'll say this about the time thing and the sci-fi thing. Just wait until the next EP drops in the fall or the winter. What the music videos are going to be for that. It's because we've been talking about this idea. We were originally going to do what we're going to be doing with the EP with Omnipresence.
Okay.
It just, we are still fine tuning the details on the direction of the imaging and everything.
Okay.
And once we get that like perfected to the way we want it,
Mm-hmm.
then people will see it. But it's going to blow people away.
Fuck yeah.
So Brian is being very cryptic, and I'm going to continue to be cryptic.
Go ahead.
But to expand on that without giving it away, just know that we are willing to take risks. We like theatrics, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, fair enough. I'm definitely looking. I'm very interested now. I'm very curious. What? So then, okay. So heavy sci-fi theme. Lots about time. You fixate on it. So are you a big sci-fi guy then? Like, are you into like the shows or whatever?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Whenever I can, I find myself sequestered in here a lot, just playing guitar. But I really liked most recently Blade Runner 2049. Just
okay,
did it for me. My goodness. Oh, and same director, the new Dune.
Oh yeah.
I still haven't seen that movie. My brother was harping on me last night about not seeing it.
Pretty good.
Is it?
You gotta watch it. Yeah, and watch 12 Monkeys if you haven't.
Oh, I've seen 12 Monkeys. Oh, that's a good one.
Is it? I'll add it to my list right now.
Yeah,
that's a time, like a kind of a time travel.
Yeah. So what is your then favorite I don't know, what's your favorite like artistic representation of time, I guess?
Artistic representation.
Yeah, like it could be like a show or a book or a comic.
I don't know that I have a favorite, but I can tell you one that really impacted me, and that was Interstellar.
Okay. Great movie. I like that one.
Glad, are you a fan of Doctor Who?
I've watched like the first season of the reboot series, and I just haven't watched anymore, but it was good.
When I hear time, that's kind of what I think of. I don't know. Like I'm not a huge Doctor Who guy. I have friends who are massive Doctor Who, fans. I know Corey Taylor's a massive Doctor Who guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
dude, I liked it a lot. I just, again, it comes down to having enough time. Oh shit. Oh, there's that word again.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Doctor Who fan myself.
I saw, I'll say this because I dated somebody who watched it. I watched a lot of like David Tennant stuff and a few of Matt Smith's.
Yep.
Tenet was awesome.
Yeah.
It's very good.
The best.
That's what I hear collectively from my friends who have been like caught up on it.
Hell yeah.
I need to watch The Expanse and Raised by Wolves. Those are two that get recommended to me all the time. Well, The Expanse more so. I guess Raised by Wolves quality was kind of, but I like Ridley Scott, so
hell yeah.
Fingerprints on it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Have you ever heard of a movie called pardon me, Midnight in Paris?
No.
You should check that out. It's a time, sort of like a time travel movie. It's got Owen Wilson in it. Actually, it's got a bunch of people in it.
Wow.
But yeah, he's like a writer, and he's like kind of like wanting inspiration, and he's in Paris, and he goes to this particular like street corner at midnight, and it takes him back in time, like when would it be? Probably in like the 20s or 30s or something like that in Paris, and he's hanging out with like Ernest Hemingway and like all these different amazing writers from history. It's pretty cool. It's a good movie.
Yeah, check it out. Midnight in Paris.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure. Wow, we really went off on a tangent there about time.
That's okay. That's okay.
I like the free flowing kind of interviews. Like,
oh yeah,
Joe Rogan.
It's not the standard like. So who's your favorite band?
Right.
Who's your favorite? It's the same thing. These interviews are the best. They're my favorite
Hell
because
yeah.
it's just it's a conversation.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Have a
Absolutely.
conversation with us, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, you said that you have so how many times have you been on tour? Like what was the previous band like?
Man, we toured quite a bit. I've been touring on and off since 2009.
Wow.
I want to say. I started playing shows when I was like 8.
Oh,
and
shit.
I would play like blues fest because my dad's a banjo player, so I grew up doing like blues and bluegrass.
Cool.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's a fantastic banjo player. So I would go to like the blues fest and like bluegrass fest, jazz fest, stuff like that. And then when I was in, I want to say 7th grade, I started a band with my friends, and we would play like, you know, the local, you know, waffle houses, like, you know, coffee houses, wherever.
Mhm.
And then when I was in my teen, what's that?
Open this pit up, Waffle House.
Right. Go to Denny's, open this up, you know. And then I started touring in 2009, and have been pretty much, aside from like the pandemic, you know, pretty much touring. I think I did the most touring I've ever done in like 2015 or 16 to 2018. Like we were just on the road all the time.
Have you ever been out of the country touring?
Once.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah. We were supposed to do Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and I think Jakarta.
Okay.
And one of the issues of the previous band kind of prevented us from doing that. I'll say that
Fair enough.
without getting into any details. But yeah, that Japan's my number one spot I want to go to out of
Okay.
anything. Just I'm a big food guy. I love trying new food in different cities, you know, like going out
Sure.
and finding like those mom and pop restaurants or like
Yeah.
those like local diners and shit. And I'm a huge sushi ramen guy, so I really want to get over to Japan and just check out the culture. And because any of my friends who have been over there and have toured over there, they're like, dude, that is literally like the spot to go. So
They fucking love their metal, that's for sure.
yeah, they do. Yeah. It's the kind of like what Willie Adler says, how like they go crazy and then in between songs they're quiet.
Yeah.
And they go crazy and then in between songs they're quiet. Yeah, that's literally the number one place I want to go. And then obviously like, you know, the big European festivals, you know, Wacken,
Yes.
Download, Hellfest, Bloodfest, or not Bloodfest, wow, Bloodstock.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of bummed they got rid of Sonosphere because Sonosphere was always like crazy.
I didn't know they got rid of it.
Yeah, I think they stopped doing it a few years back.
Damn.
But yeah, I would love to get back out of the country again, you know, and, you know, get over there. I have, you know, just seeing my friends. I had, I think one of my friends is still over there right now. They just did Sweden Rock Fest over the weekend. I know Ice Nine just did Download over the weekend, and they did,
Wow.
yeah. So like, you know, see my friends over there and like hearing their stories, you know, Dan's not out with Ice right now. Chris Kelly's filling in for him. He's got some stuff he's taking care of at home. But, you know, just, you know, hearing them be like, dude, like, you know, my friend Mark sings with Ross the Boss, and he was, you know, just like, dude, Vakken, you know, he's like,
Yeah.
he's from Boston, so he's got that, you know, he's a Boston dude, and he's like, dude, listen, the fucking mud filled up my shoes, you know, and he's like, I haven't washed them yet, you know. And yeah, it's Vakken over there, but like, you know, he hasn't washed his shoes because like it's the holy grounds of metal, man, you know.
Yeah.
And it just, yeah, I would love to get back. I can't wait. We're hopefully lining something up this fall. You know, we inquired about a tour. We are just waiting to hear back about it. And you know, fingers crossed, because what's that?
One of the challenges with a tour thing is that you had a lot of bands not able to play 2020 and 2021. So for 2022,
everybody's booking it, dude.
Yep.
Everybody. And so, fingers crossed if we can get that tour, that'd be sick, because that would take us out literally probably the entire state side.
Nice.
Yep.
And then
if that works out, well,
let me check.
Area.
I'll check right now. And then I have a friend of mine who works out of Sweden. And he is like, dude, we got to get you guys over here, like, so bad. And he works with he has his own management company, so I'm gonna inquire the best way to get us over there, without trying to like dive, because I try not to mix up friendships with business. It just, but I mean, with his experience, he's a tour manager for the Halo Effect.
Oh, cool.
And so I just want to be like, hey, if we want to get over there and do a full tour, like, what is the best one for us to get over there for?
Right. Hell yeah, dude. Well, hopefully that happens. That'd be fucking awesome.
Fingers crossed.
Definitely. One, because so many things. And I did hear too that they're bringing, it was supposed to be back last year actually, but I think they're bringing Mayhem Fest back.
I heard that rumor. That would be sick, because I went to, oh no, what were you gonna say? I apologize.
Oh no, you're fine. It was bought by that, and I think Warp Tour were bought by the guy that owns Sumerian Records, Ash Appleton or whatever.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he bought it.
Oh shit.
So he's got the rights to it now, and he said he's bringing them both back, I think.
I would honestly love to play both of those. I know like Warped is more of like a scene tour, but I remember like 2005, you had like Avenge on there, Kill Switch on there. Like, it was a crazy year that year. Atreyu.
Yeah.
And Acacia.
Hatebreed, I think, played a year or two ago.
Yeah,
whenever it was.
Hatebreed, like you just said, Guar's played it a bunch of times. Parkway Drive plays it once in a while.
Oh man, have you checked out their new single?
Yes.
What do you think?
I liked it. I think it's all right. I didn't like. It's funny. I kind of feel the same way, like kind of a little lukewarm on it. That's also how I felt from the first single from the last album. And then I ended up loving that whole album.
Oh, dude,
so
that album, I'm so glad they are finally like transcended into, as the headliners for these like festivals. Because like Led says all the time, high tides, all the ships rise. You know, and
absolutely.
Especially that band, like, dude, they've been grinding for years. You see like bands like them, Gojira. Lamb, Trivium, these dudes have been grinding since the early 2000s and mid 2000s, and now they're finally getting that headline status and these all of the recognition that we as metalheads have all been saying for years. And now finally you get more of the casual, hey, metal, I'll see somebody who I don't know, they listen to Five Finger Death Punch. I'm not saying that they're a bad band. I like the early stuff. Whatever they do, they're doing right. They all, very successful. The most successful metal band, rock band in the last, 20 years, I believe, from the amount of singles and stuff that they've had out. But, you go see one of these festivals where like Five Finger Death Punch is headlining and Lamb of God's right underneath them with Megadeth or, like Slipknot, like, they're finally getting like these more casual people and they're pulling them in. And I think really, honestly, Slipknot was probably the big one. Slipknot and again, Five Finger, those two bands are kind of the ones that are pulling the people in. And then they're discovering the Gojira, the Trivium, and it's great. It's freaking awesome because, as a fan of, metal and a fan of music, it's just so sick to see these bands. And Parkway, I'm just so glad to see them there.
Yeah. Yeah, so am I.
It's not a good day to be a bad guy.
What's up, metalheads? This is Wayne.
And Michelle.
And we are from the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. And you are listening to
Burton and Aaron on the Lost in the Dark podcast.
Raise your horns.
That fucking Viva La Underdogs, their live album.
Oh,
I play
so
that
good.
shit like every day.
All the time.
I
Yeah,
listen to
all the
that
time.
constantly.
All the time.
It is so good. That
Mhm.
because that was Vakken, right? No,
That was Vakken.
Yeah, that was Vakken.
that was Vakken. Yeah. Did you ever watch the live DVD of it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where they're walking through the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh man, killer.
Fucking
Killer.
nuts. I watched that over and over and over after it came out because that was like right during pandemic, and so you couldn't go to any shows. So I'm just sitting there like watching that over and over.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I watched that one a lot. I watched I was actually just watching Bodum's live DVD from what?
Stockholm.
Yeah, that was
So
knockout.
Yeah.
I think so. It's the one where they have the COB HC in the back lit up. Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah.
Background.
Yeah.
That one is a classic. I watched that one
Oh man.
times back in the day, and oh, dude, so crazy.
Out of every musician that has passed away in like the last 5 or 10 years, that one bums me out the most.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Yeah. That
mean,
fucked me up.
Chester Bennington was a big one.
Yep.
As a I think he was really a voice of a generation. Vinnie Paul was another real
Huge.
big one.
Yeah.
Same with Van Halen, but again, Vinny's a drummer, and I'm a massive Damage Plan, hell yeah, Pantera guy.
Mhm.
I love that shit. Van Halen, obviously, you wouldn't have a lot of these guitar players without Van Halen, but as somebody who, like, when I first heard "Are You Dead Yet," I remember it was back when Guitar World actually had the whole like columns of learn how to play this, and Alexi had a column, and it was like learn how to play "Are You Dead Yet," and I was watching that on YouTube, and then I was like YouTubing him, and he's covering like the Vivaldi's The Four Seasons, and I'm just like, this guy's on another level. Like, he is just leagues of, like, he's in a league of his own, and at the time you had like Dragon Force, coming up, doing their whole Nintendo stuff, but Alexi was just like, he was carving his niche, man, and that one to me was the biggest loss.
What hits me about people like that is those are like really unique people. Vinny, Alexi, Trevor.
Yeah. Oh man.
Trevor one
that was another one.
Oh yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh dude. I saw him last when we were playing my old band. We played the Gramercy with them. And dude, I had such a wonderful conversation with him. We chatted for like 45 minutes. God damn, that one sucks.
Yeah.
That one sucks, man. Such a nice dude.
That's because Dahlia is from like probably like an hour and a half from where I live. And I used to live actually in the same city that they're from.
Oh, really?
In Waterford, Michigan. Yeah. Just a little bit north of Detroit. And so when I first started going to shows, 15, 16 years old, somewhere in there, they maybe had 2 or 3 albums out. I think Nocturnal. No. Yeah, it was only like 2 or 3 albums out at the time, but they were opening every single show that came through Michigan. So I saw like,
that's awesome.
I ended up seeing them like a ton of times just throughout the years because they were just always on the bill.
That's so sick.
And so it always felt like they were like a hometown band for us. And Trev was he was the man, you know what I mean?
He just commanded the stage
so well. Yeah.
Just commanded it.
One of the first times I ever saw him was the fucking Blood Drunk tour because they were opening.
Oh no
Bodum.
shit.
Yeah, it was
so
them.
Sick.
It was Bodum.
Oh, man.
It was Bodum, Dahlia, fucking Austrian Death Machine.
Jesus Christ.
And shit, there was somebody else.
Don't get me started on them, dude.
There was somebody else.
I'm sure you've been keeping up with the amount of members.
Skeleton Witch.
Oh, dude, what a great band.
Yeah.
What a great band. I'm sure you've probably been seeing the amount of members that have been bleeding out of a certain band related, a certain band connected to Austrian Death Machine.
No, I haven't. Honestly, I've never been a huge fan, so I haven't really been noticing anything. Are they losing members though?
You gotta check them out. Meh.
So I'm a huge Nick Hippa guy.
Okay.
His solo, his voicing, the notes he chooses. I've always been a big Nick guy. So when Nick left As I Lay Dying, coming up on 2 years ago, like he first posted something about it last year. I kind of heard, things before that. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to follow Nick and check out what he's doing. So like his new band Meyer is fucking amazing.
I think
they're so damn good. Go check them out. They just incredible. And then Josh just left a month or two ago, I think.
Wow.
And then the drummer just left.
Oh wow.
Last week, like right before they started the tour.
Yikes.
So now it's just Tim and Phil.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. I was a huge fan of Nick and his playing, and so that's why I saw them at the Montage in Rochester in 2019. I think it was like the last on that side of the barricade show that I was at.
Okay.
As a fan.
Yeah.
And they crushed it. I was right in front of Nick. It was amazing. But it's a bummer what has kind of just
happened
with that band, because the talent in that band is undeniable. Well, the talent that was in that band was undeniable.
Yeah.
Undeniable, man.
Yeah. They were very good.
Yeah, check out Meyer. It's fucking awesome.
For sure.
Killer.
Definitely will. What's like do you have any good crazy tour stories?
Oh man, yeah. Trying to think.
Always fun.
I had so my last band, it was like Slipknot meets Linkin Park with a little bit of like trap in there as well. It was like this blend of everything. And we went out with ICP.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was pretty wild because it was supposed to be us, Clownvis Presley, and then ICP. And then the first night of the tour, we show up to the venue and they're like, oh, by the way, we added like 3 other acts. And so we're like, okay. So what time are we going on? They're like, well,
okay.
yours are at 6. Your set time's at 6:30 or 6:15 or something, because they pushed us obviously down for the band. It wasn't even a band. It was like circus performers or like street performers or something.
Weird.
And yeah. And like that whole tour, it was just outrageous because it was just chaos just ensued. A lot of partying.
Bago running through the streets.
Oh, dude. I always tried to make sure my gear was out of the venue before they got on, because if you didn't get your gear out of the venue before they got on, it would be covered in Fago. Covered. And then the next day when you're walking into like the venue to load in, all their shit is laid out in the sun, air drying, and it just smells like fucking like sugar and soda. It just, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a pretty wild tour. We did some tours with Attila that were pretty nutty. Everything you hear about Franz is 100% true. That man is a wild man.
Hell yeah.
Wild man. The last tour we did with him, he actually had a trailer that had a basketball hoop in, and he would pull that out and play basketball with the bands on the bill.
Oh yeah.
Before the set list that night, so that was cool. But yeah, I think my favorite tours that I did was El Nino. That was a sick one. This was 2015 or 16. That was awesome because this was before Christian, Aru, and Diego left. It was like kind of like that, core group that they had for years. And just standing there every night and watching them just smash. And it's cool because like my buddy Marcos, who played in Shattered Sun.
Mhm.
Shattered Sun is now singing for El Nino, and they were on that tour too. So that was so sick to see, Marcus go from that to, I love El Nino. I've always been a fan of them since, Revolution. And actually it was the anniversary tour that we did that one. And then the
Nice.
Death Angel tour, obviously, just those guys are just rad.
Hell yeah.
But
That's
I think the one last thing I'll say is the craziest thing I ever saw, though, was the first Mayhem Fest. The Red Chord, it was that last song of the set, and they open up the pit like it's gonna be a wall of death, but they all of a sudden bring out like 7 or 8 boxes of dodgeballs and threw it into the pit. And dude, you saw people just like coming out with like busted noses, and it was nuts.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Giant mosh dodgeball fight.
Yeah. Any of the stories I would like to tell, I probably shouldn't tell. But yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah. Touring's a blast. Touring's a blast. I
Hell
can't wait
yeah.
to get back out.
Yeah.
It'll be much more calm now that I don't drink or smoke anymore. That I'm sober. It'll be much more calm. Everyone in this band is quite laid back. It'll probably be, instead of partying, just us doing like N64 Mario Kart races or Halo nights or something. That's what we do now for fun.
Yeah, it'll be a different kind of partying.
That's right. Yeah. We'll do a big like we always talk about like if we ever get on tour again, with like a headlining tour, if we do like VIP packages of doing like a LAN event of like a Halo tournament with our fans or something fucking cool that you don't see other bands doing. We're gonna do some dope shit. Yeah.
That would be really cool, actually.
We can do a hell of a lot better than just taking pictures with people.
Right.
We
Fair
need
enough.
to get a taste of this needler.
Right.
Funny enough, that TV show is actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah,
I haven't checked it out yet.
it's pretty solid.
So
yeah.
somebody was going to allegedly give me access to their Paramount Plus so I could watch it. I have
Are you
HBO.
talking to me?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, because I have that, and if it wasn't me, just let me know.
Okay, well, listen, man, if you want to trade, I have
Yeah,
Max. We can.
I have them all. We don't have cable. We just do all the streaming services.
Yeah.
But I'll text you the login information after this.
Yeah, it's pretty good. If you liked like Mandalorian, you'll probably like this.
Oh, dude, I love Mando.
Yeah.
Mando. I'm a big Star Wars guy. Going back to the sci-fi thing that you guys, with the time stuff.
Mhm.
Mandalorian. I think my favorite sci-fi is Empire Strikes Back,
Mhm.
and I think Mando is probably the best Star Wars content since Empire.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm actually watching Boba Fett now.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's so good.
To me, it's a little shaky, but it's finding its legs so far. I think I'm like halfway through.
Oh, okay.
I love what they did with the Tusken Raiders in that.
Yeah.
I just think that side of everything is just so cool, because as a kid, I loved the Tusken Raiders. I just thought they were, just such a cool character that was created. So like seeing them and how they interact with Boba and how he kind of becomes part of the tribe, it's so sick.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Fuck, I forgot what I was about to ask.
You're good, dude.
Questions down?
Of course not. Well, honestly though, we have been going for over an hour. There is,
Oh wow.
yeah.
That was quick.
I do have one question that I like to ask everybody that is on the show for the first time. So, Brian, and actually, I don't remember if I asked you this before. So if I didn't, feel free to answer as well. Ed. But
Okay.
Have either of you ever had any experiences in your life that you would describe as paranormal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Would you
Yeah.
like to share?
So yeah, absolutely. I talk about this with anyone. So my best friend, we've known each other since we're like 5 years old. He grew up in a house that was built in the 1800s.
Wow.
There are passageways in the house. They had like servant quarter rooms, everything.
Holy
Dude,
shit.
the house it's a beautiful house. But we would have like the pantry door would open up. There was at one time we there's like it's like 6 bedrooms or 8 bedrooms in the house. So like if we all went out as kids and like then crashed at his house, everyone would have their own room. And like every so often you would like hear like footsteps going up in the attic and going down in the attic. And one night our friend Phil was like sitting there like shaking, and we're like, what's going on? He's like, I'm going home, I'm walking home. This is like 2-3 in the morning, and we're like, dude, it's 2-3 in the morning, like you're gonna call your parents? He's like, no, I'm walking home. And we're like, what happened? He's like, I literally just saw a ghost in the hallway. I was like, okay, dude, whatever, trying to, at the time, but this is before like hearing like a lot of the footsteps and shit. And he said he had seen like a butler and a maid. And then like a year or two later, we were like all getting ready to like go to bed, and like we were walking like down the hallway, and we saw it was like a full laundry basket. Like if you have a full laundry basket, like with towels or some shit, it's gonna be heavy. And it was up against the attic door, and we saw the attic door fly open and the laundry basket shoot across the hall, and then the door shut again. And I was just like, yo, I'm gonna sleep downstairs on the couch.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You heard piano there sometimes. It's the house is crazy. It's very active, but yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing, actually. You actually saw something, the laundry basket fly across the room?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Numerous people, his parents have seen stuff. His parents have had things happen to him. His brother, who was in the military, who didn't, never believed in, ghosts. Like when he came back, like he went to West Point. So like when he came back on like summer vacation or something, like weird things would happen. Anybody that has stayed in that house for like an extended period of time, or who have gone over there, has, every single person has had or seen something.
Wow.
Everybody. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty wild.
That's amazing.
I'm a huge paranormal guy. I
Yeah.
love that shit. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, me too. Like a lot of the places that you see them go to on like the TV shows and stuff like that.
Mm.
A lot of those places you can like pay for a ticket and they'll lock you in overnight, kind of a thing. And
That's rad.
Yeah, if you've never heard of it, check out ghosthuntUSA.com.
Okay.
That's where you can go. That's like the company that puts on a lot of those shows or a lot of stuff like that. And my roommate and I actually have done a handful of them up here in Michigan. We've investigated like an old Vietnam warship.
That's cool.
Yeah. A couple, there's like an old mill down in Dundee, Michigan. And then there's a fort down in Detroit that we checked out. We did one asylum and one like old hospital, but it was really just a house.
Did you ever go to Penn State?
No,
Penn State.
no, not yet. That is on the list.
My girlfriend went there, I think 8 or 9 years ago. It was like right before we started dating, and she said it was really cool. It's like one of my bucket list ones I want to check out, because I've heard, so many cool things about that. That's definitely one I want to check out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a bunch. There's that one. Bobby Mackey's down in Kentucky. I really want to go to.
Yeah, that one would be cool.
Yeah. The Ohio State Reformatory. I really want to check that place out.
I know from what I've heard, I believe it's the Eagle Ballroom.
I've heard of it.
Is super. From what I've heard, is like there's like 3 venues in it. There's like a downstairs, an upstairs, and then like a main floor. So like there's like 3 different ones in like different size stages. And I guess the upstairs is like super, like the upstairs, like the bar area is like super haunted.
Interesting.
What was the name again?
The Eagle Ballroom.
Huh.
Is it in New York?
No.
Wow.
Let me look real quick where it is.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Have you ever had any weird experiences or encounters, Led?
In Milwaukee.
Gonna be the wet blanket, but nah, man. Well, I don't know. Maybe like I felt like once I got poked,
Okay.
but
You got poked.
yeah, like in the shoulder. You know,
Okay.
I was I was in an emotional state at a very extreme, unusual church that I used to go to when I was a different person.
Mhm.
Yeah, I felt like I got poked.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said when you got poked.
no, I got
Oh, okay.
felt like I got poked by a finger, and I turned around. There's nobody.
Interesting.
But okay, again, I'm so sorry to be the wet blanket here.
No, you're fine.
So,
Damn you.
I maybe I mentioned this to you, or I did not mention this to you. I'm not sure, but as a side thing that I like to do as a method of cross training for like performing and that sort of thing, I am an amateur magician. I like to just
I did
perform.
not know this.
And
That's dope, dude.
I like it, man. It's actually really, really beneficial for any of the performers out there. It helps a lot, especially with like crowd work.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But what it has kind of done is thrown, I don't know. It's kind of like
Do
taken
a
away
trick.
a lot of that. What?
Do a trick.
All right, maybe
You should end the interview with a trick.
All right. Well, let me finish my thing. So in learning more and more how to fool people and how people fool themselves,
Mhm.
not on purpose, not on purpose. I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way.
Right.
The malleability of people's perception of reality, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like really killed any last remaining shred of any possibility of that. So I'm open to it, man. I mean, listen, if I see anything wild, I will tell you.
Hell yeah.
But
Oh, I mean, there's once you guys get out on the road, you're gonna be at all these different venues every night. Like, yeah, might run into something out there.
hey, fuck it, I'm in. I do wonder though, why is it that number one, ghosts seem to only come out at night, and number two, I wonder if they get pissed when you're charging like admission to go into the place.
Right.
Like, would Beetlejuice be really upset that he's not getting that money?
Right.
Could be.
I don't know. Like they're gonna have
No.
to cut ghosts in.
And that's the thing about it too, is that I love this stuff. I actively pursue it and all that, but also I don't think, like, I still need to see something with my own eyes that really makes me a believer. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So that's why I look for it, is because I haven't found the extraordinary evidence yet. But
Oh,
Yeah, some of that stuff is pretty wild, man.
yeah,
Same with like UFOs.
right.
It's
Apparently those are just a normal thing now.
right. Yeah, they're not even called UFOs anymore. I forget what they're
Right.
called now, but
UAPs.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Now
That's
that's something that you very well might see actually while you're out on the road.
Dude, I hope.
You
To
might,
be honest, I hope I see something.
you might.
I think it'd be
There's
fascinating.
yeah. I have some. I met some friends through doing this podcast that they're just a husband and wife and they're teachers down in the Detroit area.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
they were driving home late one night and they both saw this gigantic, like they said it was about the size of a Walmart, and it was
What?
a black triangle.
holy
It was
shit.
moving-
That's
moving
wild.
silently.
Very specific.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've actually heard people seeing those black triangles
Yeah.
before. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't, I definitely wouldn't count that, that out of the picture of them
Right.
actually seeing that. I heard that they're like just black triangles that like you see moving through the sky real slow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
To me, UFOs are way more possible than
Mhm.
those.
Yeah.
I heard a very interesting theory that this doctor, I think his name is Michio Kaku, was talking
Yeah.
about.
I know, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
he was just on Joe Rogan.
yes.
I was just listening to that one the other day.
And he was talking about how it's also possible that you're not seeing aliens in those UFOs, but rather potentially drones,
Right.
because it may take loads and loads of work and time and energy to get over here.
No,
So-
that exactly. No, that makes the most sense to me personally, because yeah, like think about what we have we can't make it to Mars, yeah, but we have a rover
Right.
there. We send robots and drones and stuff to check it out.
Give Elon Musk another 5 years, we'll be there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting how the kind of the collective like thought process on that whole thing has changed so much in the last few years. It's wild. Because I remember a point in time where, like, you know, if you brought this up, people, you know, give you the weird look or whatever, and now it's just like a normal, like, oh yeah,
Well, the government admits they're not really sure.
right,
So there you go.
right,
But it's out there. Like it's
yep.
it's now a thing. You're right. It's like broken through. It's now a thing we can safely talk about without appearing like nutcases.
It is interesting, very interesting. Shit, man. That's kind of all I got for you guys, to be honest. And it's funny, it's no worries led to, because during this podcast, I ask everybody that question, and it's about 50-50. What I've found is 50% of people have had or seen something weird, and 50%
That's cool.
haven't.
I was just
So
gonna
right
actually
here-
ask like what the percentage.
Yeah, it's about
Is.
even. It's about even. Yeah.
I
Awesome.
promise you, if I see a floating triangle or if I get taken by isometric cube, I will tell you immediately. You guys, will-
Yeah. Beautiful. Call us from inside the ship.
I'm calling you on a metal sphere.
interview, the doctor was like, if he's like, one suggestion I have for people is like, if you ever get abducted, for the love of God, steal something, anything.
Yeah.
Like just
For
like, something.
real.
Put it in your pocket, just jam it up. I mean, whatever you got to do.
The old prison
Yeah.
wallet.
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah. It's like the South Park.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
That show is great.
Yep. It's one of the best.
If you want to close on a trick, I can do one.
Oh, sure.
So I'll do a really easy one. So I started working on learning how to solve a Rubik's Cube in like November.
Okay.
And doing it the long way, A to B, it took me like a month. And I was able to get it down to 5.5 minutes.
Okay.
That's the long way. But when you're performing for people, you don't really have that much. So then I had to work on a second way, which was much quicker. So world record, I think, is 4.5 seconds.
Wow.
Dude, look it up on YouTube. It's crazy.
Whew.
So I don't know if I can quite beat that the long way, but here's my way. So I show the cube, okay, show the front. All right. I show the bottom, then
Holy shit. That's dope, dude. Holy shit. That was very impressive.
so anyways, if anybody comes to a show, come see me at the Burton.
It's so rad, dude. I want to learn.
That was excellent. Excellent. Thank you guys. Yeah, that's gonna
Thank
do it.
you.
Thank you guys so much for being on. This was an absolute pleasure. Absolutely.
Dude, this was by far the best interview. Like, so rad, man. Thank you so much for your time.
And my pleasure. And you guys are welcome back anytime. Anytime you ever want to promote something or just shoot the shit, you guys are welcome back whenever you want.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much for listening to the album and
Oh.
see if you like it. Thank you for. I'm glad you like it. And
Definitely.
Yeah,
Thanks for
and
sending it over.
hopefully we'll be out in your neck of the woods soon.
Yeah, that'd be. If you guys ever make it up here, I will be at that show. No question.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We'll let you know, and we'll get you on the list. Just,
Hell
we
yeah.
could probably do like an in-person interview or something.
That'd be
And,
sweet.
have you hang out. It'd be sick.
That would be awesome. Absolutely. But all right, I will pause this recording and then we can hop up. And thank you guys again. Everybody,
you.
Omnipresence is out July 1st. Get that shit now. Where can they links in the description for everything below, but where the website is probably the best place to get a physical copy?
afittingrevenge.com, facebook.com/afittingrevenge, YouTube, Instagram, Really, those are the main ones. So if you go to fittingrevenge.com, that has links to other stuff.
Beautiful. Excellent. And there will be physical copies of it?
Yes.
Yes.
I am actually working on that today.
Hell yeah. Beautiful. All right. Thank you guys. Everybody, raise your horns to a fitting revenge. And there it is, my friends. There it is. We got the boys from A Fitting Revenge back. And of course, they have a new member. Hang on one second. I got it right here. They got Lucy on bass, who, like Ledwing said in the beginning of the interview, she's on tour with another bit, Drift. She's on tour with Drift at the time of that recording out on the West Coast, so she couldn't join us on that one, but hopefully we get her on in the future as well. A Fitting Revenge is absolutely like just one of the most amazing bands. Their first album just fucking floored me. One of the best bands I've found doing this podcast. One of my favorite, hands down. They're just I love their like melodic side and how they incorporate like all my favorite sounds that metal has, some of all my favorite sounds that metal has done, and it's absolutely amazing. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of them. I can't wait to see them live. Huge shout out to A Fitting Revenge, and of course links to everything, all of them in the description below. And tonight at midnight, their brand new album, Omnipresence, is unleashed upon the earth. And it is a fucking masterpiece, and I cannot recommend it enough. So everybody be sure, links in the description below, to check out all things A Fitting Revenge. And God damn it, listen to this album. They got shows coming up. Fingers crossed for a tour before the end of the year. Keep an eye out. This is a big one, and I know all of you will love it. So everybody, again, tonight, midnight, Omnipresence drops. Raise your fucking horns and bang your goddamn heads to all things A Fitting Revenge. We love you to death. Good night.
Lost in the dark.